Bulavinaka and welcome to Fiji Village Play. I'm Alipate Narawa, and with me, our sports journalist, and not journalist, only historic as well, because this is the first time that a Super Rugby game has been played in Mba. Not only is it the first time that a Super Rugby game has been played in Mba, this is also the first time that the Nrua have defeated the Brumbies. Coming into this game, there were only 3 teams in Super Rugby they hadn't defeated yet, and that was the Brumbies, which they've now defeated, and also the Highlanders, who are still, we'll see in the few weeks, because that game is coming up as well in Mba.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, it was another exciting sporting weekend for the rugby fraternity here in Fiji. You had table toppers, the ACT Brumbies, coming to meet the swine-shipping Fijian Nrua. It was more than a rugby match, but as you mentioned, it was a historical match. For the first time in history for the crazy soccer town of Mba to host a Super Rugby match of this magnitude.
So if you're wondering, Mika was at the game over the weekend. And Mika, I understand people were there from early in the morning to get their hands on some tickets.
Oh, the rush was crazy, but the rush was crazy. People were, the gates were supposed to open at 11, but people were there as early as 9 a.m. in the morning.
So just a quick question. What team do you support in Super Rugby? In Super Rugby Pacific?
It's a good question, but
No, it's not a good question. What team do you support?
My childhood team was the Brumbies. I'm not going to joke here.
So
my childhood team was the Brumbies.
What did it feel like watching your team get decimated in front of the home crowd?
I wanted the Brumbies to win the first half and the Nrua to win the second half, because I was, as I mentioned, it's my childhood team. Seeing the great GOAT, the Wallabies, Stephen Larkham, at the venue. I was torn between 2 teams, but to see the Nrua win, back at home, it was more exciting. But for now, Nrua is my team.
All right, but so this week they faced the Reds, and yesterday they've announced the teams, and one that is named on the bench for the Reds is former Fiji Water Flying Fijians fly half, Ben Vola, who has been named on the bench. In the starting lineup, we've got Seru Uru in the locks, and also Philip Ndongunu on the wing. Exactly. How much of a difference do you think Ben Vola will make when he gets on the field, as he knows how the Fijian mind works, especially when it comes to rugby? And then you've also got Ndongunu there and Uru, who was penalized the cup, last year or the other year, for playing around during the scrum, pulling Kuruvoli's leg. What do you think those 3, what type of insights do you think those 3 will have into the psyche of the Fijian rugby player?
Well, it's a smart move by the Queensland Reds. As you know, they defeated the Brumbies prior to this. And those trio, bringing those Fijians into their first lineup, it's a technical move because they know that Fijians thrive in this humidity and the weather. So the coach made those calls, and it's very exciting to see Ben back in the Reds jersey. It will be his first time debuting for the Queensland Reds. I think it's going to be an exciting one, Pati.
All right. One thing that a lot of talk has been done about is the Imbole. The first round, when we hosted the Moana Pacifica, even though the temperature was around 27 degrees, overcast, heat protocols were in place. So the team couldn't perform the Imbole. And over the weekend, they were told they couldn't perform it either because of heat protocols. Now, the question I'm asking is, it's about 60 seconds, a minute at most.
Yeah.
They are not running for that 60 seconds. And yet heat protocols say they can't do that, a traditional challenge. A lot of fuss has been, a lot of noise has been generated online of people going like, why? Why is Super Rugby doing this? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, for me, personally, I think it's sad, because those are the gold nuggets. Before each game, it psychs the players up. And, I think we just have to stand by the rules that Sansa gives. And those are the rules that they have in place. It said that we couldn't do them all for the people, for the team, for the Vanua. But I guess, at the end of the day, it's the rules that Super Rugby.
First game in Ba.
Yeah.
Come on. First game in Ba.
Yeah, it's quite sad. It's unfortunate, but again, it's the rules that have been set in place. And I hope they will, relook at it, rethink about it, and hopefully things will change in the future.
But this win over the Brumbies isn't just being talked about here in Fiji. It's been talked about in South Africa. Let's take a look at this clip where the Between Two Posts trio are talking about that game over the weekend.
Yeah. This match, there's a 20-point difference between the team with 20 minutes to go. And it was like, is that the score? It was a bit of that. I loved this performance from the Drua. And the way, you look at the Sama Vondre offload off the deck and the pick up from Droa Sessi for his second try. Those little moments built around quality set piece, good defence, a little bit better discipline, pragmatic taking points. They got the balance right, the Drua. And then there were two. So leading into this weekend, only 3 teams the Drua hadn't beaten. That's now only the Blues and the Highlanders once they beat the Brumbies for the first time.
Do you remember Simon Rowley when he put that clip up of
I remember Simon. He's a good manly man.
He was working at Drua and he's looked outside and it's just a field and the ground's like that far underwater. It's heaving rain and there's just Fijians everywhere playing footy. That's why they were so good. They just live and breathe that sort of stuff. They'll play in any weather. Their skills, like you said, their skills are incredible in that wet. It was so good, the offload game. Their breakdown work was brutal.
Violent,
a little bit red line sometimes, but
That's
brutal.
the line. That's
yeah,
what's gotta
exactly.
be.
And
As you've just seen in the clip there, Morgan Turner, Sean Maloney from Between Two Posts, talking about the Ndrua and the Brumbies match over the weekend, and talking about the consistency and the support play with from when some Wonder went down, hit the deck, and he popped up that pass to Droa Sessi, who scored right under the sticks. What a great moment that was. And for Droa Sessi, this season, it's like he's come into his own and he scored 2 tries in that game.
Yes, indeed, Pate. He's really shown that he's a world-class operator, and Glenn Jackson spoke highly of him. He's really improved. I'm glad he's really improved, as the Rugby Championships around the corner, World Cup is around the corner, and Droa Sessi has shown that he has what it takes for that to wear the number 15 jersey.
But coming up after this, we'll be talking about the Fiji Airways men's national 7 side and the New York Sevens that I just finished over the weekend. More on that coming up straight after this. Bulabanak and welcome back to Fiji Village Play. I'm Alipate Narawa and with me is Mika Liga. Now, Mika, over the weekend, or should I say at the beginning of this week, there's a bit of heartbreak all over Fiji as the Fiji Airways men's national 7 side lost out to South Africa 10-7 in the New York Sevens final, which meant that we were losing as well the World 7 Series. That's the 2025-2026 series.
Yes, but we didn't get the W that we expected for the last leg of the series in New York, as Pate has mentioned. It wasn't the greatest of all start to the week, but heads off to Osea Kulinisau and the players. You've been consistent throughout the season, and Pate from the first tournament in Dubai, they've maintained that position. They finished top 3. So, let's try and look at the positives, not look at the negatives. It was a game of inches. South Africa came ready, they came prepared, and they knew our weaknesses, and they capitalized on it. And congratulations to South Africa, and I'm looking forward to the championships in Hong Kong.
Okay, but let me just play devil's advocate here. What about that last play by Fiji where we had an overlap on the side and we dropped the ball cold?
Yeah, those are moments in rugby, as alluded to by the National Sevens coach. Those are moments in rugby that, anything could have happened. I think there was pressure on our forward player there. And, it was said the game could have either gone anywhere.
It could have gone either way, but it reminds me of the Rugby World Cups. A very similar situation in the Rugby World Cup.
Semi-run-run.
Yeah, semi-run-run. But yes, moving on from that. Coming up next month, we've got the World Sevens Champions, World Sevens Championship, which will take place in 3 locations. Now, it starts next month at Kai Tak Sports Stadium in Hong Kong. Now, this is not only the beginning of the World Championship. As the current series, if you notice, it's only got 8 teams.
8 teams.
All right.
Right.
So when it goes into the World Championships, it'll be 12 teams.
Okay.
So at the moment, all the countries in the world are divided into 3 sections.
3 sections.
So our boys are in Division 1, then Division 2, and then there's Division 3. So when it comes to World Championship, the 8 from Division 1 will go ahead, and then they'll take 4 from Division 2. Now, before this, Division 2 and Division 3 have been playing relegation and promotion.
Okay.
So the thing is, when you go into these next 3 tournaments, a fresh sets of points table, and also promotion relegation is on the line. So you might be playing in the Division 1, but at the end of the 3 tournaments, you could drop to the 2nd division.
So is South Africa
automatically qualifies, and cannot be eliminated because they are the first seed. And also, just another thing as well, at Kai Tak Stadium in Hong Kong, they will also be celebrating 50 years of Sevens rugby, which first started in 1976. So that's definitely something to look forward to. Sevens celebrations, just amazing. Coming up after this, we'll be talking about the zones, the high school zones, as we lead into the Coca-Cola Games coming up very shortly. Bulabanak and welcome back to Fiji Village Play. I'm Alipate Narawa, and with me is Mika Liga. Mika, there's a lot of competition and a lot of talk going on right now about the secondary school zones as they're preparing for the upcoming Coca-Cola Games, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. What do you think about the competition that we've had so far with the Silver Zone 2 competition completed that went to Marist Brothers High School? Yeah, you can stop smiling now. I know you went to Marist. And also Grammar, they retained their titles from last year for the boys and the girls division.
Yes, but it's that time of the year again for students and parents. Exciting time of the year, especially the zone and the Coca-Cola that's coming up around the corner. As Pat has mentioned, Zone 2. It's always a very competitive zone, and the brigade from Marist Brothers High School has defended their title for the 4th year again.
Just say we. Okay? I know that's what you've been wanting to say. But some athletes to look out for heading into the Coca-Cola Games. You've got this guy here, this student from Marist, Ebenezer
Sukuru.
This guy is what you would call a triple threat. He throws, he jumps, and he runs.
He's a one-of-a-kind talent, but he's one of a kind.
Javelin.
Yeah, he's broken the record as well.
Yes.
He is
and the
jumper.
person next to him, he came first, and then the person that was next, there was a difference of 10 meters in their throws.
Yeah, that's how good this guy is. You know, he's at a very young age. I think he's 17 at the moment. He's just gifted. He's a prospect. He's a prospect for Fiji decathlete. And if things work out for him, he's a very skilled athlete. He's got a very good background. I heard his parents come from his sporting fraternity as well, and he's got great support. And look out for him in the Cokes.
But taking a look at other, like not the big schools in Suva, okay, I might be biased about this, but taking a look at the schools from Serua, you've got Lemeri, you've got Nuku, and you've also got Alipate Narawa College. Now, these 3 small schools were keeping the big schools on their toes. Now, even though they ran with socks, they were running barefoot. These guys were still winning gold medals. I'm talking about particular sisters, the Gonovo sisters, Livina Langi. Now, Livina Langi ran in the sub-junior girls, 1,500. She won gold in that. And just yesterday, she won gold as well in the 3,000 meters, while her sister won gold in the 1,500 for the junior grade. How awesome is that? And they were running with their socks. They had everything. They put everything on the line just to come. Imagine the potential that these kids have if there was like funding put into their schools, equipment, and all this stuff here to help train them, help mold them into great athletes. What do you think about the future of athletics in Fiji?
Yeah, but that's the beauty of the games. You know, you have athletes coming from these schools in the urban division, and they are party spoilers, low-key athletes, but they come with no socks. Some come with no track shoes at all. And they take a limelight from these big schools. That's the beauty of the games, If they're given proper facilities, proper pathways, I think Fiji athletics should be producing some very great athletes in the future.
I was even talking to some athletes from Lomeri, and they said that they just had 1 week to prepare.
1 week.
For the zone. They had 1 week solid preparation. Also spoke to the Blue Ribbon winner for the girls event, Luciana Lewa Sewa. And she said, the only thing that brought them together was unity. They all felt, you know what? We can do this. And we've got this. Other things to look out for, as I said, Ezekiel Tambolevu. Also, there's a sub-junior girls run, a sprinter from St. Joseph that was just turning heads in the 100, in the 4x1, and she was just going absolute. She is really fast. She's a speed merchant. Talking about Merioni Matani Tombua. This is a name that you need to look out for in the next coming years, because she is definitely going to be burning the tracks. And most probably will be will be repping the Fiji team very, very shortly.
Yes, Pate, she's a one-of-a-kind athlete, and I hope she will, maintain that composure and that intensity into the Coca-Cola Games, and hopefully win some medals for the Waimano girls, the St. Joseph girls this year. And the Blue Ribbon went to
Paulo Bonolangi,
of Suva Grammar. So he's a great athlete as well.
But anyways, as I was saying, as we should right now, Zone 1 has just started this today. It'll be happening today and tomorrow. And coming up next week, we've got the other zones. We've got the Triple N. We've got the Tai Levo Overall Zone. So from then, we'll be able to gauge who are the runners to look out for when it comes to the sprints for the Blue Ribbon event. And also, let us know who you would like to see on the show here on Fiji Village Play, and put in the comments. Let us know who you'd like to see, who you'd want us to talk to, and let us know your thoughts on the show as well. And Mika, anything else to say about this weekend's upcoming game between the Drew and the Reds?
Thank you, Pate. Go down to Lotoka, that's our fortress, and support the Swahili Finish draw. We're looking for they're looking for their third win, and I know round 6, table position, the draw needs this win, and hope to see you all in Lotoka. And thanks for having me, Pate.
We'll see you next time on Fiji Village Play.
Naka.